All right. Have to wait to see what YouTube's will tell me. The tubes of the Ube. Eventually.
We're live.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, there we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Jedi Academy here on Reality Skewed Gamers. If you missed it last week, I didn't catch this last week. We got all the sandfly here, the best sandfly on the beach. You know what last week was? We were doing it on the charity stream, and I didn't pick up on it. Our
It
th-
was
our
the best show we've ever done.
Well, besides that, it was our 300th episode of the Jedi Academy because I always, number them. And I was looking today, I'm like, that one last week, what's this one's going to be? I'm like, 301? Oh, shit. I was like, oh my God, it was the 300th episode. And we raised money for charity. We had Gom on there dancing. So we got a little bit, we were a little bit distracted on the show. So yeah. But yeah, 300 and growing editions of the Jedi Academy. It's crazy how long we've been doing this show.
And congratulations from everyone that enjoys this. Honestly, I actually think of all the weekly things that go on, giving people a platform on YouTube to come in, ask whatever questions you want at all different levels of the game, not just kind of targeted at, right, 13 million or 12 million Guyver one, but actually giving people all different is hugely valuable. And congratulations.
Yeah, I was shocked. It's a way we've always had the show is you can ask anything, and we'll give you our best answer. We may not always have the best answer, but we'll give you our best answer. So there you go. So give your greetings in the chat, and if you're new to the show, welcome. It's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. We allow content creators to come on here, which whoever is available. Everyone's got different schedules and stuff. Sometimes we have a lot, sometimes we have a few. It doesn't really matter. They'll attack it the same way. But if you have a question you want to pose to myself or anybody on the panel, pretty simple. Just put your question into the chat. However, follow the following format so that we can identify it easier. Just put the word question, the actual word question, in front of your actual question, comment, or statement that you want us to respond to and or answer. And we'll be more than glad to do it. So that's pretty much how it is. Now remember, we are on YouTube, not Twitch. We mainly stream on Twitch. And I forgot to upload the Wednesday night stream. I was having some issues with it, and I forgot to go back in and do it. I'll try to get that up for you guys as well, the previous week's episode. It is on Twitch. I've published it, but I just haven't got it uploaded on YouTube. So I'll get that out for you guys as quickly as I can. But yeah, give your greeting. We'll shout you guys out here in a second. Get your questions in. And then that's pretty much it. We're going to hang out with you guys in the next 2 hours and just hang back, relax on a Saturday morning with you guys and gals, man and women, and hang out. Appreciate everybody came out last weekend. We did this on the Twitch for the charity stream. We raised over $7,000. We're a third of the way to our goal of what we're trying to hit. So again, shout out to all you fine folks that came out and supported that. Spread the word. Whether you donated or not, if you're there supporting it, we really appreciate all your guys' support. And I don't know if we have a stream elements running for the Tiltify, but if you would like to donate and support what we're doing, partner with the American Cancer Society with our fight against cancer, I'll link the Tiltify here, and you can put that, go donate if you didn't get a chance to watch it. We did had a fantastic interview with Crumb that we actually cut out of the 24-hour charity stream and put that up. You can go on Twitch. I was going to upload it to YouTube. I was like, nah, I'd have to do some more work on it. And I was like, what's on Twitch? You can go back and watch it. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, we were good. So he'll get your questions in, get all that in. Now we're on YouTube. Because of that, make sure you hit the thumbs up. That's really important. Interactions is different than it is on Twitch. So hitting the thumbs up, interacting with the video, leaving comments on the videos that we post on YouTube is really important. That interaction, how much you watch is important. So if you'd like to support the content, you don't have to support us financially. I know times are tough out there for some folks, and you don't have to do that. We're not here to just support the content by just watching it. That's the easiest thing you can do, just watch the damn thing and leave a comment. It's not hard. And then it's like, that's the easiest way to show even just say, hey Ranger, I love you. Great. A Ranger, you suck ass. shit, but I'll take it. So whatever comments you want to leave. Negative comments do help in YouTube. I learned that all this. It's kind of crazy. So
Well, yeah, that's why I'm here.
that's right. Yeah.
As
The
many negative
Scottish
comments as you
judge is
want.
here. Yeah, if you didn't miss it last week,
4 out of 10.
Scottish judge over there was man, oh
Was
man.
definitely the only one that told the truth.
People
And
in the
still the
chat
best
booing
judge.
him.
Still the best judge. Still the best judge.
Yeah,
But
that's
please.
not according to the chat. They were booing you and were calling for your head. Scottish judge had a lot of hatred and vitriol going on.
I don't care. You've got to have somebody telling the truth. Gone was incredible, though. And
hold on, OBS disconnected. What happened? Why is OBS shitting the bed? Don't shit the bed, OBS. Okay, it's reconnected. All right, that's enough out of you, OBS. I just updated your ass. You better not be goddamn.
we'll never do the update. Never do the update.
It does it automatically because
no, when OBS asks you, just ignore it. Just go no. Remind me.
Yeah,
remind me
OBS just shit the bed there for a second, guys. So yeah. But anyway, I was saying before OBS gave me the bird. The other thing I'm trying to do in this costume, all this is going to be the death of me. I swear to Christ. If you would like to, I'm trying to get the final touches done on the costume. Now, the good thing is, I got all the supplies I need. The final ones are coming in next week for all the painting and stuff that I'm going to have to do. So all that stuff's in. So Amazon wish list, it's just there with figures. We're about that shit during Christmas. But if you'd like to support and put a tip in the tip jar and get me to do a shoey, I will do shoeys while we're doing this because we're at $160 away. I've got to get the new flight suit. I got to get re-measured. And it was brought to my attention. I'd look good, Aldous. The brown flight suit, and in season 3 had the gray flight suit, and I'm like, oh.
Which nerdy person is walking about Las Vegas going, well, you
wasn't
look good.
in Vegas.
However, it's the wrong colored flight suit. You got to wonder. You got to wonder what these people are doing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was fantastic, but they're just like, if you're going to be doing this for the kids, get the most up-to-date one. I was like, yeah, for the kids, man. So I've been swallowing swill for like I always do, because every $15 in the tip jar equals a shoey for me. And I've got the Fosters behind me. You can see the fridge is refrigerated and full of Fosters. My favorite thing.
Does anyone know, or does anyone in chat know? Is there any reason why they changed it in the show?
No, just
changed.
Just did.
Like,
That
seems like such a kind of. Sorry, I mean, I'm challenging.
Actually, it looks better. I think with the dark, the gray underneath it. I think it gives it a more streamlined thing because he went through stages. So when you first see him, he's in patchwork, right? Then he gets the actual Beskar. And then the next season it starts evolving, and then the third season he's starting to come into his actual own with the costume and everything. Well, not really, LBC Rob. I mean, the only thing I did do 2 shoeys, but that's because we had a level 8 hype train, and I'm like, that's just what we do. That had nothing to do with anything else. It was just like, hey, I got to do the shoeys. You know what I'm saying? So, but that wasn't anything related to what I'm doing for the costume. But this is it. I'm not doing anything else after this. All this. It's like if he turns dark side and goes, full black armor, I'm like, no, because I have been. Because I already know it's going to take me a week and a half, 2 weeks to do the new project where we're going to actually do the make the armor permanent in the chrome Beskar like the show. It is a lengthy process. Then I got to get remeasured, and then I got to get the new flight suit in. Then I got to take the flight suit with all the armor pieces and then get all the Velcro on there and straps and stuff to fit that on. I'm going to lose my mind, but.
Well, I would say with the potential new film harking back to the origin of the Jedi's and the Sith, I think it is possible we get a live version Revan, the man behind you. We might actually see that suit even become back but it's unlikely. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
It is, but I mean, the problem with Revan is unless you're, and you can see my old costume of Dark Revan that I used to wear. Problem being with that is that nobody really knows unless you're a true Star Wars Legends geek, like who that is, right? And for kids, they don't know who he is. I've had plenty of them look at me and say, "Are you Darth Schmader?" I'm like, "No, but I am Dark, Darth something." So yeah. All right. Let's say hi to everybody. Let's say hi to the boys and girls out there and get to these questions. So, Adahan224 says, Evening Ranger. Good evening, my friend. CT Red Devil 77 says, Good morning. Good morning to you. Widow73 says, Happy Saturday. Yeah, it is. Unless you wake up early in the morning like we do. Well, not all this. It's afternoon there. He's already drinking. Ray Rock says, Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Ray Rock. Hit me, Kimmy, one more time. Says, Good morning, skewers. Hello, Kimmy, baby. Kimmy, baby, what are you doing over there, girl? Boba says, Kimmy, I hope one day you're able to come follow us on Twitch. I really do, because I miss you, Kimmy. Damn it. I know we only do stuff on YouTube, but come over to the dark side, Kimmy. You know you want to. Hang out with your boy Ranger and the skewers more. Probably because she's working, and can't really do Twitch a lot of places, unfortunately. So that's on me, but I'm hoping one day that changes. Boba says, Hello there, Ranger and Skewers, and big hugs to the greatest Scottish streamer out there. Well, when we can find him, we'll bring him on the stream. That'll be really good. Yeah.
He's in chat. He's Thronhub. Thronhub is the greatest
Thronhub
Scottish
is
streamer
amazing,
of
yes.
SWGOH.
That's right.
I am a poor second. I'm a poor second to that man.
I don't even know. I'd go like 7th, 8th, something along those lines. Bobus, and you get this as well. Hello there. Mr. Bone is rattling. Says, Good morning, Skewers. Good morning, Mr. Bone. LBC Rob in the LBC on Cali says, Happy up, everyone. What's going on? What else? 73 says, Lots of other content creators are referencing that discussion. Sure. Alpha and Omega says, Hi, Ranger Skewers. Hello, Alpha and the Omega. Contingent, our man, myth, and legend says, Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Contingent. Let's see here. Okay, we got some questions coming in. Just want to say hi to everybody before I start doing the questions. Michael H. With the wave, hello. Jack Daniels. Oh, Mr. John Daniels is joining us. Says, Hola, Archie. Hola, Jack Daniels. ¿Cómo está? Me llamo Ranger. Dos veces. That's true, Mr. Bone. Not only do we have cookies on the dark side and shoeies, but we'll be your friend. All right. Now it's true. What else? 3 if Keanu Reeves were to play Revan, that might change the things, but I don't know if I want to go through the nightmare that is putting a costume together. We'll have to see how intricate it is, but it's just like if that ever happened, I may stick with the Mando. He's still going to be around for many years, and I think kids love Baby Grogu. What can you say? Okay. What else? 3 question: Has Gom recovered yet? Well, I'm happy to report after 3 days in the the chamber and the back to tank that Gom is, I think, fully recovered. Poor Gom. The man just puts it on himself, man. But he raises a lot of money for charity, helps us out. So there we go. Contingent, my man. What's going on, brother, man? Says, question, what Datacrons combinations the new sets are the best to shoot for? Depends on your roster. If your roster is like mine, there's quite a few. I think for most of us, the Jedi really stand out, right? 2 that I'm aiming for right now is, of course, Jedi Knight Cal. But the other one that's really people that you should keep on your radar is Qui-Gon Jinn. He is a really nasty little Datacron to throw on your Qui-Gon team, especially in 3s and 5s. That's going to be a nightmare because of all the boost that gives. If you have Bad Batch, the Omega one is really, really good. And then it actually really does do some crazy shit. I was looking at, especially with all the offenses on this set, you have an Omega on there with those kind of stats, especially since there's only 1, 3, and 5. That's pretty creamy. I'm not lying. If you have Tarful, because you have Jedi Cal, the Wookiees with his Datacron are going to be really nasty for all the stuff that does. You also want to just take one up to 6 for the CLS team because of the grit. You're going to have Chupio and, of course, Chewbacca on your team, and that really makes them nasty as hell. People talk about the CLS team hitting up again, killing GLs with that on. Trying to remember what was the other ones we talked about. Those are some of the ones that popped up in my head. If you have the Phoenix team, of course, I think Rex is there. That's a really good one to have. So, again, roster dependent. But if you have CLS, get the grid. If you've got your Bad Batch up and running, you definitely want to try to go for Omega because those offense stats with them and what that does is really good. And the other ones, and there's Qui-Gon. Those are easy ones to do. Now, if you don't have Jedi Cal or Tarful or some of these other ones because you haven't really worked on the new characters, that's fine. Just do some of these older ones that you can do some really good stuff with. But yeah, I mean, if they're going to make us do Datacrons, you might as well do Datacrons. I don't know how to put it, Here's some goddamn Datacrons, goddamn. I can't anything.
I have to say, I'm getting terrible drops on the level 9s. They obviously, I get the feeling that the Jedi ones are not dropping with the same regularity as the others. It took me a long time to actually land a Jedi on level 6. So I would hug every Jedi one you get. I'm getting way too many Phoenixes and clones. I've so far had one Rex, one Omega, and one Ezra, neither of which I can use the level 9 on. So I ain't getting the ones I need. I am a little bit worried, therefore I would remind everyone that there is a surprise mechanic, gambling, into this, and therefore not all of these drop with the same regularity. So please don't find yourself hunting for one you desperately need and doing endless refreshes. Look after yourself. Don't lose. So yeah, for me, I'm going to use them a lot for the stats. There's a lot of armor penetration in there. They're quite offensive, which I quite like. I like quite an offensive set. So I think we'll see a move back towards full clears and a move away from
defensive shit.
Yeah, defensive ones that no one likes. No one likes dodge. No one likes defense. It's a terrible stat to have. I think we'll move back to teams being easier to beat, better full clears. So I'm going to use them a little bit for stats. I'll see what I get. I mean, the other thing is that this set is going to be by far the most prevalent we've ever had in the game, both from a quantity point of view, because people are going to get more of them, but also from them applying at 1, 3, and 5, which, for the record, I don't like. I'd rather they were rarer.
I actually like the 1, 3, and 5. That's interesting.
Well, we talked about it a little bit this morning on my stream, where I think the people at Kyber 1 who always see level 9s like this change. But I think the people at Kyber 2, less so. People at Kyber 3 are the ones we really need to hear from on how they feel, because they're going to start running into these 16, 18 relevant defensive datacrons, a GAC. So they're going to run into these GACs, whereas I think people like Kyber 1 are used to having like all level 9s on defense and just fighting against them. I think people at Kyber 3 are going to start looking at that now. So that's kind of the people I'm interested to hear from. But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of datacrons being more prevalent in the game. I'd rather they were rarer and more special.
You know my thought. I wish they just go away, period. You know, I can't stand the damn things. But I like them or hate them, I do think it's a smart move on CG to lower from 357 to 135. If you need, and let's talk about why they're doing this. They need more engagement with datacrons. At the high level, yes, we have to, you know, if you even want to be somewhat competitive, you have to do datacrons. However, past like Kyber 3 and down, what's the incentive? Most of the time, you can't, most of these people don't have the right, you know, if they luck into one, yeah, but if they don't, what's the point? So if you make it more accessible and have more people engage them, that's what they're looking at to try and do. So it's a smart move. I mean,
but remember, but datacrons at no point are relevant in PvE.
So no, they're temporary. That's why I hate them. You know.
But no. But you can never use them versus the enemy. They are never applicable in any game mode, other than versus. If you take the squad arena out of here, which obviously doesn't matter.
TW and JC, that's it. Yeah, they don't.
Therefore, ramping up the prevalence is simply ramping up you and your opponent. So you aren't really getting an advantage here. No player is getting an advantage. You and your opponent are getting an advantage at the same time. So I think if they did apply a little bit into a PvE game mode and you were able to suddenly clear something like Secrets and Shadows using one, that'd be... Yeah. I know they would. Yeah, exactly. So therefore, my excitement on the prevalence being more and is lessened significantly for that. So I'm probably the only content creator that will ever sit here going, I don't like the prevalence being more, and I don't like the change. I think, yeah, I'd prefer it was different.
You know, I just don't like them, period. But you know, and I could care less. I do think that's a smart move, though, because you know you'll have more people engaging, and at that level, if you get the right one, it could really help you out. Because even if you both have datacrons, it depends on what you rolled for it and what team you have. So it'll be interesting to see. I would be interested to see what the engagement is after that, because you know it will cause. You're absolutely right, Aldous. Because if it's more prevalent, then you forces it's either, hey, your time in Kyber 4 and 5 is just chilling. Those days might be a little bit over because you're gonna run into some people that are actually like, oh, I can actually do some stuff with Datacrons. Like, I've not really done it before. Let me get in there and kind of mess around with it. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what this does with them.
We're gonna have both. We're gonna have one group of people in Kyber 3, Kyber 4 who have the time and investment and are very excited about, oh my god, I can now interact with Datacrons, because I actually like Datacrons, so good on them for that. But you're also gonna have people in Kyber 3, Kyber 4 who go, I no longer can do GAC. I don't have the time. I'm gonna quit the game. So we're gonna have an attrition going on of people in 3 and 4, but those people don't have a voice. They're never going to come on a stream and say, "Hi, I've become apathetic, so I've come in to tell you I'm apathetic." They just stop playing. They don't. So I think there's two sides to this, and I don't know. I mean, no one will ever know except CG the exact how it feels. Therefore, I think we should, as much as we love the change, making them more prevalent, I think we should accept the fact it might cause a little attrition, and they'll really look after themselves.
What would you think of Keanu Reeves as Revan Fellows? That would be fantastic. That's who I've wanted to play Revan for a long time. I think I'd be more than happy with that. Urban, what's going on? This question: When is Bush Leia getting accelerated? When did she come out last year? Was it August this time she came out? She's the last character that will be accelerated, and I don't remember her exact date, but it's very soon. Right around the corner, so she should be here pretty quick. I think she was the last one in August that came out. I don't remember her exact release date, but it's a year from there.
Yeah,
so it should be.
They just accelerated Lando in the recent update, so you've got to think she's 2 weeks max away.
All right, next question. Kimmy, what's going on? This question: How much hate can Datacrons cause CG playing to push them even more? Memory stats are worthless for long-term players. Yeah, but it's one of those game modes where, for the most part, when I look at my roster, Datacrons are not really on the mind. I work on them. I do them because DW and GAC. But outside of that, I'm mainly focusing on the mods, the teams I'm working on for the other events. Mainly for the raid, I'm focused on GLA. You know, I could give a GC for me now is like, if I win, I win. If I don't, I don't, because the way they've handled it, where, you know, as much as I've had a winning record throughout all these GACs, I'm still in Kyber 2. I'm like, there's no incentive for me. And Datacrons don't do it. It doesn't make it more fun for me to go do GAC. It makes it actually more frustrating because in Kyber 2, you can run into somebody that's actually dropped. I actually faced someone that was a top 25 player that had dropped because they had gone on vacation and didn't do threes. I faced him in 5. I'm like, you're 12.5 and I'm 10.4. And then I looked at the roster. They had like 3 of the level 9s for each of the characters done. I'm like, okay, you know. So it's something they've got to look at. We addressed it with Crumb about the squishing, about, you know, the current state. I'm like, what are we doing with GAC and TW? We haven't really touched it. You know, Crumb says, well, we had the 2.0. I was like, yeah, but that was like almost 2 years ago. We've, you know, with GAC, right? It's been a hot minute since we've done anything. We haven't touched TW forever. So it's like TW. I go in and place my teams on defense. I do my offensive battles as the same cookie cutter shit that we always do, because it's always pretty much the same team. Oh, look, it's a Ray wall. We'll use this. Oh, look, it's a Jabba the Hutt wall. We're going to use this. And it's just a matter of who can be more efficient. And you have to look at the Datacrons now and look at what's the percent defense on this crap. But I just do it. If we win, great stuff. If I lose, great. I still get stuff. You know, so it's not as much stuff. So, you know, PvP for me is it is what it is. It's a tool that I use to have fun with you guys and interact and do silly stuff like we did on the charity stream. You know, I just was like, fuck it. I could try to be hardcore here and clear and win, and I could have easily. But I'm like, no, let's have some fun. Let's try all the off-brand counters and show them off, like Reva versus JMK and you know, against a really ridiculous Lord Vader team, you know, bounty hunters, or you know, some of the other stuff we did. You know, it's like, let's show this, let's show that, you know, you can use these counters and how effective they are. We almost won every one of those. We won out of the 4 we did. I think we lost 2, and the other 2 we won, but the two that we lost, it left like what, Lord Vader. He was the last one left because the bounty hunters, we just missed it by that much. And same thing with Riva. Riva almost took out GNK. I think we had GNK left or some shit. It was crazy, you know. So that's why I kind of look at it for, you know, Datacrons are what they are. You know, I mean, CG.
I think for me, Datacrons are better. Datacrons are better than the alternative, which is ruthless power creep. Now, the other option, other than having Datacrons to mix up the meta, is to continually give us a meta-defining team. So basically, Dr. Aphra would destroy everything in the game, and then 3 weeks later, they would launch another team that would destroy everything in the game. Whereas now we actually have quite a mixed and altering meta. We have different counters that come and go. The GLs are no longer this massive step, massively more. So I think the game balance is better because Datacrons, we don't have that ridiculous power creep. So I think Datacrons are good from that point of view.
I disagree with that statement completely because Datacrons make some of these GLs unkillable and unbeatable.
Temporarily.
For me, 4 months of hell is still 4 months of hell. Like when you're in it and you're having to deal with it. I mean, when Jabba has 300% defense and normally you use Kenobi, I think the problem is when we say power creep, before, like, CG would put shit out and it would be like pushing, you know, the next team. It would be so overpowered that you could, unless you had it to counter it, you know, it would be really difficult. But I think they've learned with some of the balancing, because if you look at Jabba, for instance, Jabba was very well balanced. Great GL, can take out certain teams and certain teams could take him out. And I thought that was what they needed to be doing. We don't need, like, you know, you're seeing this in Fleet with Leviathan. Although it's not even close yet and it's really frustrating. But yeah, Fleet, because of the Fleet shard, it's they're still doing the same shit that they used to do with Squad Arena with the most overpowered team coming out, right? And that would cause imbalances in GAC. But now with them going back and with the Omicrons, that's why I thought Omicrons is as far as they needed to take it, not Datacrons. Omicrons really brought up a lot of other teams and made some other viable counters punch up, which was really nice, you know, for your roster, and used more of your roster. And, you know, GLs were balanced in the sense that, you know, certain GLs are better against other ones. They've gotten better at that, but Datacrons completely throw that out because you can have GMK, which normally will handle Jabba. It's supposed to. It's what it's designed to do. But then when Jabba has the 15% Datacron and on top of that 300% defense, you time out, because if you don't get the perfect hits at the right time, you're going to be hosed. You know, it's really difficult to overcome that. And it's really frustrating because, you know, you did
but
everything.
That was a temporary, but that is a temporary thing.
I know, but it goes back and forth. That's the problem with Datacrons. If it's not Jabba, before it was Lord Vader, before that it was Rey, before that, you know, Rey with the Hellsteel and stuff. It's always some GL or two that's just like, Jesus Christ, what are we thinking here, right? Because
before we had Jedi Knight Revan was the only thing that could beat. You couldn't beat Jedi Knight Revan without Jedi Revan. Then you had Darth Revan. Couldn't beat Darth Revan without a Darth Revan. Then we had Gas, and that couldn't beat Gas without, you know, because every single kit was so far ahead. So you had this static meta. I think Datacrons are the opposite. The Datacrons allow the power creep to be less. There's power creep still there, but allow it less. It doesn't mean, don't get me wrong, it does mean for occasional massively irritating. And I wish to God they would remove defensive stats from Datacrons completely and make them offensive only. But we'll see.
All right, let's get to some more questions here. Michael H. question: I just finished Jabba and Riva. Congratulations. What should I pursue next, Leviathan or Leia? I hate to say this, man. Leia. And I'm going to tell you why. Leviathan is just trash still. It's still trash. I looked at where I dropped today. I'm number 25 in my fleet chart. Why? Because Profundity kicks the shit out of it, no problem. Easily. It's a hard counter right now to Leviathan. And that was not what we were promised. I don't mind Leviathan losing to Profundity, but kind of like an Executor. But Profundity goes in and handles business no problem against Leviathan. Executor's different. Executor can do it, but it's a lot more difficult. Leviathan on defense is straight goddamn trash. Yeah, what is three with only 3 ships? You don't need any other ships. You can kick the shit out of Leviathan with profundity, and it's a big problem because the investment and everything that went into getting Leviathan, first of all, really poo-poos on the players that made that investment and got the ship right away. Second of all, the bugs, we didn't know how good it was going to be, but now that they fixed a lot of bugs, there's still some bugs out there, but this is just trash. Straight up. Now, on offense, Leviathan is fine in some circumstances. However, mirror match, trash, right? It's straight trash. Whoever usually gets the coin flip has a giant, it's Executor all over again. It's like, what the hell, man? It's just diarrhea, between profundity and Leviathan. It's garbage, and so you're just like, why did I make this investment in this? Oh yeah, because CG said it was going to dominate the meta. It is not dominating the meta. Even at 7 stars, and I've got everything, with the Relic 9s and everything. If I try to do a mirror match with Leviathan, it's who gets the coin flip, because I'm in a fleet shard that we all equal it out. It's like whoever gets the coin flip has the advantage 99% of the time you're going to win. You have to play it a certain way. You can out turn meter it. You have to do the certain builds a certain way, but even then, they can still get to their payout faster, and you're just like, Jesus, that's trash. And then profundity walks all over it. I mean, no diff. Walks all over it, and you can see it everywhere in the stats. It's not worth the investment that I made. I feel like I got cheated. And all you guys should feel like you got cheated too, because and I haven't seen it, they could do some more stuff in the future. But for so far, what was promised and what has been delivered, right? I was waiting to see after the bug fixes where everything would fall out. Well, a lot of the major bug fixes have been done. Still some minor bugs and stuff in there, but it's not even close, man. This is not even close to what we were promised. And I don't want a fleet that's just unbeatable and stuff, because I'm already bitching about the mirror match, right? But come on. I mean, that's some major moments for fleet. I don't know what it is about fleets, all this. You look at a lot of the characters and stuff that come out, they're really good. I mean, the balance in characters has gotten really good. The kits have been really solid. The events have been pretty solid. And then I look at fleets and I'm just like, what Potato Head is over here working on fleet? It's like a separate game from the actual other ground stuff that we do. I can't, it's the only thing I can explain. It's the only explanation that comes to my mind. Someone over there that thinks they know better is working on fleets, and they don't have a fucking clue what they're doing over there. There is no way on this good earth that ship should have been coming out. You want to make that statement, CG? We didn't have these expectations. You put that shit out there. And so when you ask us to do 2 Relic 9s, 5 Relic 7s, and a partridge in a pear tree, then spend all the resources to take the ship to 7 stars, and then it's this, you got some major problems. And fleets has been like this consistently. There's been problems with fleets every time you introduce something new. This is not something, not at this level. The other ones had some stuff, but not at this level. It's really bad. So take your time with Leviathan, folks. Take your sweet ass time until they can demonstrate that they've got this thing the way they said it was supposed to be. Go get GLA. Because we know what GLs will do. We know what they're capable of, and all the different places you're going to use them and how important they are. Fleets are important, don't get me wrong, but if you want to go get Profundity and go get Leia, go eat your heart out with the Rebel faction right now, because Leviathan is not worth the goddamn investment. I am sorely disappointed in this ship, which is sad because Darth Vader's my favorite character, and Leviathan is something that's part of my past where it's like, hell yeah, I know this ship. And it's bad, all this. This is really bad. This is really trash.
Okay, well, I kind of disagree. I don't mind where Leviathan is. The Leviathan, to me, is an offensive fleet. Now, on offense, it's okay. It kind of fulfills what it said. In defense, it is terrible. Never put on defense.
So bad.
And this is where my slight caveat to Michael comes in. Now, we're going to have the same conversation in 3 months' time about GL Leia, and people are going to be sitting there going, I put GL Leia on defense, and she got milked for 77 banners by a gas team. Princess Leia, or GL Leia, is an offensive character. That's what they've come out and said. Profundity, or Leviathan, is an offensive ship. right? Be very, very careful what you think you're investing or working towards. Offensive characters are very different and slightly less meta impactful or slightly less game impactful than the defensive blockers that are like the Jabba or the Lord Vader. So, as much as we like to hate on Leviathan, you could probably play these exact conversations again in 3 months' time when Leia comes out and everybody goes, well, she's great on offense, she meta defines, she kills everything, but I put her on defense and she gets beaten by a cut solo. So I think be very careful because the options you've given of Leia and Leviathan are both offensive, and it is highly likely that the statements that they're putting in this launch about Leia, about, oh, you can suddenly one-shot a character, are potentially wrong. So don't believe their hype on GL Leia. Don't believe this offensive. She is offensive, so she's going to be like a paper bag on defense. So yes, it looks to me Leia, but to be honest, I would soft farm. I'd soft farm the requirements of Leia. You're going to get yourself a good Phoenix team with Captain Rex.
I already have some of them with,
a decent Ewok team. You're going to get potentially a Lobot who will work probably with droids. You're going to get a decent there, and you're going to work yourself up to a decent team for the raid that will be solid. You're going to get the next Conquest character. So I would work a little bit towards the raid, maybe start hoarding and see what the Leia kit does. I wouldn't necessarily pull the trigger on either Leviathan or Leia all in on the characters that are terrible. I'd put the relics where they need to be on characters that you're confident with.
But the problem is, you know, in fairness, CG, all they said about Leia, she's going to be an offensive powerhouse and needed for the raid. And that's fine. That's all I need to know. But what they said for Leviathan, in their own words, dominate the meta. It is not even close. And just my own experience with the ship and just what it does not do on defense, and even on offense, you can lose to profundities, which is crazy. I've had them take that first turn and take out my Sith fighter. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is happening? It's a big problem. They really need to start looking at this and get this up and running quick because,
but
you know what? Because what this does, right? Like GLA, I already know what she's going to be. She's going to be an offensive GL, fine, you know, and she need for raid. I don't have any expectations on what she might or might not be on defense or how powerful on offense she is. I have a pretty good expectation of what Leia is. The Leviathan thing, man, it's just been a disaster. It really is. This has got to be, in my opinion, this is the worst release they've ever had for anything. I've never seen a thing that is underperforming, so buggy, so many problems that just like, what did you look at?
I think the relic investment in Leviathan is the one thing that makes me say so. Not so much where the ship is and how it's performing and what they said, but literally the relic requirements needed for Leviathan versus Leia makes me now go actually move more to Leia. The other thing that actually moves me a little bit away from chips, and maybe we're getting a bit deep here, but there's currently only 3 ships on defense in GAC. Now, you have now got, about 10 fleets? So you can actually zerg through things now. So the ships used to define a lot of GACs. I think when Executor came out, I would have said that you could win or lose a GAC on fleets or ships. Now that we've then had Profundity and then Leviathan, it's no longer anywhere near as impactful. You can now win a GAC without really caring about fleets because you can pretty much clear whatever they put down. So I think the bar's moved, and I think the relic investment Leviathan's too large. But as much as I sit here going, okay, CG lied to us over Leviathan, it's hard for me to sit here go, okay, you definitely aren't lying to me over your Leia, or you marketed Leviathan very well. You could be marketing Leia in the same verbiage, the same people putting out the same statement. So that's kind of my be careful on Leia. Be careful.
Yeah, but you know, I'm going to do it anyway. It's the only thing I really need to work on right now. So for me, it makes sense. How good she is or not doesn't matter. All using the raids and stuff. So yeah. Let me go back through here. Oh, what else? Anything? Bush event started 9 September, so that's when she'll be coming out. She'll go expedited. Hey, engineer, choo choo says hello there. Train engineer is always late. It's in him blood. It's his blood. An engineer is never late, nor is he early for the wagons. He rides precisely when he means to. All right. Let's see. Choo Choo, the engineer. Question: should CG not make the Smuggler's Run too simple once you did it, say 40 times? I always beat it, but the time it takes 2 times. Yeah, I kind of think it should be simple too, because I've beaten it multiple times, but it does take a minute to beat that because of the AI plays it stupid, and there's certain order of operations you got to do for that. I would like to see if you beat it a certain amount of times, be simple on that. If you've beaten it that many times, you should be simmed. I don't know how you think all this. I would love that.
Yeah. I mean, I just find it mildly repetitive and boring. And like, why can't we face different teams? Why is it always the same? It's a bit like a pointless thing. So I'd rather have it simmable because I'm not getting any enjoyment from it. Put it that way.
No, I just love it for I just do it for the goodies. Oh, those are some good goodies. Oh my gosh, some of the runs too is so delicious. What else in 3? Question: does all this have a video of Cup doing a solo? I'd really like to see that. No, I don't think anybody has a video of Cup doing solo.
You don't. Yeah, okay. I don't. Please, no one Google Cup solo versus Leia.
Not good. No, not good.
But no. I mean, I'm only being. I'm trying to point out to people like anytime they say it's an offensive character, we cannot, as much as we're dreaming it'll be great on defense, as much as we hope it'll go on defense, we cannot turn around in 3 months' time and go, "Oh, I put it on defense and it got cleared by Night Sisters." Mm-hmm. Like you got to listen to what they're saying, got to hear the context behind it. That's my only point.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. Michael H, that's fair, but I have the rest of the GLs, and I'll have left is some of the newer Journey tunes. There's no. I mean, think long term for the raid. You're going to need that team. If Jabba and Hut Cartel was any indication of how you want that powerhouse team that's going to get you the most bang for your buck, that's why I was leaning more to Leia and just slow farm the Leviathan. Unlock it for sure, right? But it's not really good at 5 and 6 stars, so just kind of, do your thing. Because even at 7 stars, it's nowhere near what it should be doing. Not
I think the biggest problem we have with GLA at the moment is we don't really know her raid team. Now,
I don't even know what her team is going to be, man.
Yeah, it's mystery.
This is such a mystery, man, because the requirements came out for the last set of requirements. Requirements are fair. And I like what they did here. That we'll get to her team in a second, but those pieces go to other teams and make them better. Captain Rex and Kanisa and Scout Trooper. Drogon will be a part of that. Someone said R2 can be on the team. I'm like, yeah, but I just got a sneaky suspicion. We're going to have a Conquest character or a Marquis or 2 that is going to round out her team. I just can't see them saying, I know everyone's excited about Lobot rework. That does not get my nipples hard. If I have to think I have to use Lobot for my GLA.
No, but the thing is that Lobot and R2 aren't listed as raid characters. So if we're talking about what
I'm thinking like GAC and other places.
Yeah, exactly. But we're talking about, so GLA definitely has Drogon as part of the team. But when you look down the raid characters, there's almost no one else that kind of fits into where you think she would be. So it's going to be it's a weird team at the moment. We are kind of missing something as far as the raid's concerned. And that's kind of, so I think the GLA team is still got a question mark next to it. We know it's got Drogon, but no one else. We suspect R2 would make sense. But the Lobot rework looks to be moving in the droid's direction rather than being a low. Otherwise, he'd be relevant for the raid, but he's not currently listed. So there's a weird thing going on.
It's really strange because, someone said, well, what about Rolo and Captain Holo Stormtrooper? I'm like, no, I don't want to use those characters on a GLA team. I mean, I will if that's the team, but that doesn't make me happy. I think about the dynamics of what Return of the Jedi is as a movie and where it sits in my place. And I think about the hero characters of General Lando and Nine Nub and the Millennium Falcon making their run, and Wedge, and they go in to destroy the Death Star. And then on the planet, you got Han and Chewie and Leia and all those guys doing all the stuff down there on Endor, to make it possible for that. I just think of the main characters. I'm just like, you want me to use Empire Strikes Back characters for my GLA? I don't see it. I just have a sneaky suspicion. We kind of have an idea of the next Conquest character that I think is going to be Moff Gideon and Beskar Armor, which I'm excited for. Sad because we still, what is with the dark side kink with just Conquest? Can What's the deal with light side characters? I want to know. Can we get one? Because I've been thinking the next one's going to be Satil Shan, but they've just been on this dark side kick forever, which is fine. Great characters, not upset about best card.
I mean, I think so. So yeah, a lot of chat. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it is a 3-person raid. The problem with Leia, when you look at the characters they've listed, unless the characters listed for the raid are missing, you've only got Leia and Drogon mentioned. You don't have Lobot. There's no R2. You do have Han and Chewie. You do have Akbar. You do have Wedge. But these kind of sit elsewhere. So it's unclear what the third person might be in a raid team with GL Leia. So it looks like something is missing. When you look, I would encourage everyone to pull up that post and actually look at the characters listed because there's some odd missing. R2 missing, Lobot's not there. It kind of limits your Chupio's not there. So it looks to be strictly people that are only on Endor. So we'll see. It's quite clear. It's much clearer from the Imperial Trooper side. So if I was saying to somebody where would invest, I would invest or move in the Imperial Trooper side. Especially if you're getting red crate on Conquest, I would head more in that direction. Ewoks, Imperial Troopers, those are going to be good in all game modes. I would head in that direction. But the GL Leia team is still a big question mark.
Hey, man with the best friend in the business, Tumbo Dry says Afternoon Ranger Aldi and the Skewer is very nice. Gav P is joining us. I think I said good. Oh, Ray Rocks here says good morning and good afternoon to everybody. Yeah, very nice. Gav P says question: is that the world famous king of shippings and world's best dance judge? We're blessed to have Aldi on Jedi Academy today. Okay, let's not get crazy here. All right, that's enough.
The answer to that question is yes.
No, not really. Jedi Rule says question: are we getting any new versions of Han Lando for GLA, or will CLS go with GLA? No, they said in the post, if you look at it, they are not pulling from the CLS team. That's why I'm sitting there going, well, what do you want me to use? Ewoks? Lick my ass? That really doesn't seem exciting. I don't know. It's really a head scratch. I just have a sneaky suspicion all this. We're going to get a Conquest character as a lifter, and we're going to get like 2 more characters. Like, you got your GL Leia, but to really make her well and, help us out a little bit with that cheddar, here's 2 more characters to really round out the team. I'm just warning you guys. I've been down this road many times where they do this shit. I'm just warning you.
At least one. I think that's
because we know Drogon will be there. He's part of the requirements and he's going to be on the team. Great. We need 2 more. At least. I mean, the 5th is floater, like Jabba.
Yeah, they need at least 1 for the raid. I think whether or not they push for 5v5 being meta, but I think, yeah, they definitely one thing missing. It's very, very, very odd. So that's why there's a little bit of caution, and that's what we're kind of telling people in chat. Just be really careful. We think there's one thing coming. It's not a requirement, but we think something's out there. The other thing is that I'm going to feel really hollow going into a battle with my GL Leia and some guy that was made up in Sacramento. Like, that's my team. Where's my Endor Han?
Yeah. I want trench coat hand. God damn it!
Yeah, like honestly, can I get a skin for my unnecessary additional man and make him look like Endor? I mean, it's just for me that's going to kill the enjoyment of the team. Because every kill with Drogon, I mean, who cares? This is a made-up character.
Yeah, I agree. It just doesn't give me the tingles, man. But I definitely think those characters are around the corner. Gap P question: as the GL requirements are relatively accessible, very much, I think they're very accessible. Are you expecting Leia to be less impactful than a usual GL? We don't know. If they balanced her like they did Jabba, then I think that's perfect, where she's in the middle, like Jabba was. Certain teams she just kicks the shit out. She's supposed to be really powerful on offense, but on defense, certain teams will take her out too. That's where I think GLs need to be. Right in the middle area. Certain teams they can take out, and certain teams, they're weaker against. They did a really good job with Jabba on that. With certain teams he dominates, but then other teams go in there and kick the crap out. I think that's what they need to do with Leia. We don't want a GL like JMK was. I mean, he was dominant. And once Cat came in, holy God, was he really dominant. He was super duper califragilistic expialidocious dominant. So yeah, there's still some work to be done with the GLs with balancing. We know lifters are part of it. We still don't have lifters for certain teams. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see. I still think that we're gonna get Bib Fortuna for Job eventually. I'm still putting my money down. It could be anything. These are just Rangers' thoughts on who the lifters will be. I think Dark Ray for C. I think Ghost Yoda for JML, and I think what's his nuts for SLKR? Snoke. I had to think about that one for a second. So I think Snoke will be the lifter for him. Just my thoughts. It could be anything. If you throw a name out there and be like, sure. At this point, it could be anything. But I still think we have lifters still coming around the corner for stuff. But yeah, I think they'll balance.
For me,
well.
I think we're heading for a Leviathan situation. I think that any offense, I think people judge characters by their impact from how many times they're placed on defense and how many times they get a hold. Therefore, I actually worry a little bit that people are going to be negative on Leia. They're going to go, well, it beats everything in offense, but it loses to everything on defense. And I actually think that's where they're moving it. So
which is fine for me, actually.
Which is fine.
I don't mind
I actually don't think it'll be as impact. I actually think it'll be very unpopular from the very top of the game, simply because in things like TW, you're going to be able to wipe an entire zone using GL Leia.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with Leia being offense. I really am.
Yeah, so you're kind of lose that. So you're going to lose a little bit of the ultra level of the game by being able to kind of use a GL to kind of casually take down any character. So if what they're saying is right, I think she won't necessarily be meta defining, and she won't necessarily change things. I think she won't be popular with many of the high up people. But we'll see. It's just our opinions.
Yeah, it is one that is. Jesus says we do not have Satil, Mara, Tonic Cider, and we get Mr. Exclusive Drogas and the likes who do not even exist. We don't have them yet. But I agree. I thought really because of just the cadence that CG was on, they released a certain amount of characters, in Conquest at certain points, and I thought Satil was definitely coming in because last year in the summertime they released Malgus, and I thought, well, perfect thing. Old Republic Jedi and Old Republic could use a lifter, a good character. Satil made total sense. I still think she's coming. I don't know when because they're just in this dark side kick right now. It's just been dark side characters. And I know dark side is behind the curve of total characters and stuff for their faction, and if that's what you think it is, but you could mix in a Satil shine in between these dark side releases. I mean, throw me a freaking bone here, Scott. I'm trying to make things work here, okay? Jesus. Let's see here. Next question. Rayrock. I'm not familiar with Drogon. What is the backstory behind him in the Star Wars universe? I have no idea either. Never heard of him. Oh, that's right. He was made up. Never mind.
It'll be the shortest. It'll be the shortest with the idiots video we've ever done.
I know. Here's a new character we know nothing about. Let's drink.
Here's Star Wars lore with Drogon. Well, that's done. Yeah, not saying that he won't be a great character. Not saying they won't design a great kit about him. But there's a hollowness. I love GBA too, so I'm not kind of them creating characters is okay, but I'm a little bit. It doesn't fuel me as excited about something than pulling out a Endor Han and one shotting someone versus Drogon one shot. I mean, yeah, it's that's the point I'm kind of making. It's yeah.
Kaya, the lovely Kaya, says, I mean, how nice GL Leia requirements are. I don't care how bad she is. The requirements make it worth it. Oh, I agree 1,000%. I think the requirements are more than fair. And I'm going to get her. Maybe not right day one, but I usually like every GL. It's like a week or two afterwards. I'll unlock her because just of the marquees. I'm saving my crystals. I'm making the big purchases into the characters to get them not undone. Now that Rex is farmable, I've got him at 6 stars, almost 7, but I can hard node farm him all the way to the bank to 7 stars. That'll be nice. But yeah, I mean, depending on when they release it, but it doesn't really matter because as soon as it's released, it's in. It's not like some of these other events where you have to wait 6 months like Grand Inquisitor. So I can just basically do it whenever I'm ready. So yeah. The engineer Choo Choo says, I think R2 will make a good home with the GLA. Oh, I think so too, with number crunch and the stealth and everything. Yeah, I think it'll be a great mechanic.
I do think he's probably the third. I do think it's Leia, Drogon, and R2. That is my that would be where I put the money at the moment.
Yeah. Kai says, time for the interview with the guy who made Drogon for the lore. Well, if they want to do it, I'll be more glad. But PG's kind of gotten away from that. Crumb and those guys will come out and we'll have conversations with them. But no, I wish. Jedi Rules question Ranger: why is CG obsessed with the dark side? The last good light side character is Jedi Cal. Well, they got really. If you look at like the factions, light side has so many more characters and shit like that, and dark side they put things out, but they do need to go back and round out the dark side. I'm happy to see Scout Trooper coming in and some more dark side characters coming in to expand some of those factions, and I'd love to see more of it actually. But if they're going to do that, that means they're not going to get as many light side characters. Trust me, there was time where we were getting nothing but light side characters. It was like that's why we have such a mismatch or a discrepancy in the amount of light side characters versus dark side characters. It's gotten better, right? And the teams are starting to get filled out more. But yeah, Lobot could boost R2 and the Leia team. Yeah, but that I don't want to play that team. I want the heroes. I want to do Return of the Jedi team and kick some ass, man. So, I mean, like what else is like Leia, R2, Drogon, Stormtrooper Han, and Farm Boy Luke for the win. That makes me not want to play GLA. God almighty. It's just so demotivating, man. I just read that team like, oh, God damn it. No. Damn it, all this, that's not what I want to use.
Well, yeah, and also SD Han and Farm Boy Luke weren't requirements. They aren't getting new rework. I don't know. I think, I think the raid will define a lot of things. I would say on why they're going maybe a little bit light side at the moment is they are working, obviously, on a speeder bike raid. Now, it's kind of hard to have. There weren't that many Imperials on Endor. There wasn't that many people on Endor. So I think they're probably kind of redoing that balance, which is probably why we're getting a little bit more of the light side. But we are getting Malicos through Conquest, so that will change. We're then going to get Moff Gideon too. So that's going to... So we are getting dark side through Conquest. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see
how it plays out. Kai says R2D2 uniques are still pretty good. It's more his actual abilities that leave something to be desired. Do you agree? Not really. I still think the stealth mechanic is really a pain in the ass. The burn is a nice mechanic. And he stuns on his basic and stuff. I mean, I still think those are pretty reliable stuff. I mean, for rebels that do a lot of call and assist, the burning really makes a big difference. And then him getting called and assist, depending on the mechanics of Leia. I do agree that depending on how his interaction would be with her will make his abilities either better or not as good. But that stealth mechanic is really nice. But the thing with R2, I think he's going to go on the Leia team is he doesn't really have a home. I mean, you might put him on Resistance, but really not right now with the team makeup and the way it is, and you're not going to put him on Seal. Less, you're definitely not using him for Rebel fighters and stuff. I mean, it's just one of those things where you're like, he's a good character. The number crunch is fantastic, and the stuff he does. I think his abilities are still okay. I mean, stun, burn, stealth, those are still pretty solid mechanics. I don't know how you feel all this.
Well, I think R2 is a great character, but he is lost at the moment. But like I keep coming back, he's not listed as a raid character, so he's not in the raid. So he can't be part of the 3 that go into the raid. So I think it makes perfect sense in the team for 5s, and maybe even the team for, maybe team for 3s. I still love R2 under Padme for a Gidme team in 3s. I think under 5s, I think I would use R2. The only caveat to that would be the Lobot rework, which I expect to be kind of further droid insanity. But I think Lobot will end up under Sortie, and we'll end up with kind of a... We'll end up with kind of a... Sorry, I'm making sense on Jedi Academy.
I know,
Should I go? So I think the Lobot rework is nothing to do with Leia. I think it's to do with Sortie. I think we'll see him go that way. So yeah, I think R2's in the mix. I just don't know who the third is. I honestly don't know who the third is for Leia. I've got Leia and Drogon, and the third for a team of 3 is confusing.
Well, the thing is, I'm just looking at the makeup for GL, and people are putting different combinations, like Contingent just did. But the problem is, Chewbacca is not going on the team. They said they're going to keep CLS together, so you can pull that one out. Um, you could add Jedi Knight Luke, but I mean, how's that going to work? Because she's a role faction, they'd have to give a new tag like Endor, so that they do have that synergy specifically with that team, or have it in her kit. Brother sister kind of combination. Um, I don't know if Drogon's going to be the tank or what he's supposed to be yet. We don't know who the tank is. What are the supports supposed to be? I mean, these are kind of important questions when you're developing a team and you want to make resource investments, because we always talk about this as a resource management game, especially if you're more free to play. You kind of want to know this going in. So, what's the team that I need to work on? Who are the characters specifically I need to take up first? Because that will dictate where my resources go. And when we're kind of in limbo right now, it's like, oh, you mean Tarzan Chewbacca? I still remember hearing that in Return of the Jedi where he did the Tarzan yell. I was like, oh, come on. A little nudge to the old Tarzan movies. Uh, Nathan H says, best day ever for SWGOH. Lobot, Lord of Droids, reworked Defender of Cloud City, Wear of Beats by Dr. Dre. Well, that's true. Before it was cool, he was doing it, connecting with them kids on them streets, that kind of thing. All right, keep your questions coming in. Having good discussions at the top of the hour. Make sure you hit the thumbs up if you like the content. That's YouTube. I got to say it. It's what all content creators on YouTube say. Whether they're doing a video or we're streaming it live, it doesn't really matter. If you've not followed us on the channel, subscribe, and hit the thumbs up. It's pretty simple. So keep your questions coming in. If you haven't seen the post from CG about all the requirements and their mindset on the raid and everything like that, go read it. I thought it was really well done. We kind of we knew a post was coming because Crumb told us that they were crafting something here very soon for us to read. I didn't expect it yesterday. That was interesting because I got busy yesterday because I was getting ready for the Friday night stream and other stuff, and I'm just running around doing things. And once I got in the stream, someone said there was a post. I'm like, there was? I hadn't really looked at the forums because I've been looking at them all week because we cover the news and stuff. But I was like, eh? And then I saw a video start popping up on my phone. I'm like, eh? So that was a shame.
Had a good chat on that. The cadence of the drop of requirements 2 and requirements 3 was very interesting. Now, I think last week or whatever we talked about maybe requirements 2, in my opinion, seemed delayed a week. They seem to be delayed. I have no idea why they dropped number 3 on a Friday night, and why not just do the normal Wednesday announcement, because we're not getting Drogon tomorrow as the marquee event.
Not for weeks.
Yeah, so it was like a weirdly pointless, okay, here's my homework, I'm handing it on a Friday, when you could have just done it on Wednesday like you normally do, the normal cadence. So I thought that was a little odd. And I'll wait and see in a week or two's time if it makes any sense why they suddenly rushed out part 3, and whether it's a raid thing or a leak or I don't know. It seemed odd.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah, P, question. How are you using Saw, Marin, Seer, and Cal for? What are their best uses, Jedi Cal requirements? Well, the UFA team is self-contained. So the OG Cal, Seer, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, Malicos is going to be on that team, and then you just need Crew as a tank. Going to be cream. It's already a creamy team. It's very, very pain in the ass. CLS can take it out, but I mean, if someone's using CLS on my Seer team, that means they're not using it on something else. And that's because of the datacrons and stuff. Normally that team just takes damage, it gets angry, and then starts knocking the crap out of you. At Tarful, actually, the Wookiees are a very strong team because they reflect damage back and do their thing. They're really, really, really good. I'm very impressed with the Wookiee team. I was shocked at how really good they are. Karth had mentioned it to me, and then as I started, because I took them to Relic, I'm like, okay, they're fantastic in Conquest. Oh my god, even at like mid-tier, they're like 3 to 5, they hold very well, and certain teams will get them, but like they can go in there and reflect all that crap back. It's like, it's really nice. They start stacking damage too. I mean, you start one-shotting folks. It's really nice. Saw, on the other hand, is a disappointment. That team is just what it is. It's not very good. It's just not. It just doesn't have anything going for it. I mean, I understand the mechanics and stuff, but it's just it with the team and lineup with the characters that they have used for it, the leftovers, it could do some okay stuff on offense. Defense, hell no. But even on offense, there's teams that you're just not going to be able to do much with. So the UFA team, fantastic. Marin, we already know what she does with Night Sister. She's amazing. She's absolutely amazing. A game changer for Night Sister. Tarful surprise. The Wookiees are really strong. I'm very excited to use them in 3s and 5s coming up. But I think they're definitely going to steal banners, and they're definitely going to do some good work for you. Especially with this Datacron coming up. I mean, Tarful's got his own Datacron. We're going for it, and it's going to be nice because it's got a really nice boost on top of his other boosts. So Saw, no, just leave him at 12. I really wouldn't putz around with him too much. That's the one. Not, I don't know if you have Saw yet there, Aldous, or mess with him, but he's just not. Where are you with your Jedi Cal? By the way, there, Aldi. Are you going for him?
No. Well, I'm just soft farming all the new people. Yeah, so not really for me. I think no. I don't even know what his requirements are. Well, I know kind of what his requirements are, but I'm more farming the teams. I think Marin's the one I want because she looks fun.
Oh my gosh, so good.
But yeah, I mean, I've got Cal Kestis, so he's one I'm using him obviously in Thingy. But yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, he's really good on Ray teams, things of that nature. But once you get that UFA team together, man, the combination of Seer, Cal, and Ahsoka, oh my god! And then I'm just salivating, waiting for Malicos to come out because that is going to put that team on a whole nother level. Holy god, that team! So yeah, Saw, don't bother. Tarful if you want to, still really solid team, but Marin for sure, UFA team for sure. They are a proven commodity. Nathan H. question: what will have synergy with Lord Lobot? The droids. We'd already talked about it. Droids. Put them on Sortie, and that'll be creamy. We got to see the rework first. We don't know. I mean, they said rework coming, but we don't know yet. So, Jedi Rules question: who will be the next legendary character in December? My guess would be Lightside Starkiller. Nah, I don't think they're doing another Starkiller. Outside of that, I have no idea. They can go any way they want. That's the thing about the December surprise, is what I like to call it now. Like, we don't know. Like, we have no idea. I knew Starkiller because it's part of the beta program and actually did the kit reveal for Talon, so I knew what was coming. No idea about Dr. Aphra. That was a big surprise. It's one of those things, Aldous, like in December, the holiday season, they can do whatever they want. So all of you guys in chat can throw any character you want. I'd be like, yeah, that's possible. I mean, Lightside Starkiller is possible. I don't think they're doing another Starkiller yet. Not that they won't do one in the future, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be the next one. But shit, it could be anything. All this, it's the holiday season. We don't know what's coming next.
Well, I hope underneath my tree there is Hot Marin from Jedi Survivor. Which my money is they go back to the Jedi Fallen Order series. They go back to Survivor, which they never did, and we actually start seeing Survivor characters coming in, and we get Hot Marin, Bald, Seer,
they could come, yeah. Eventually,
Cal.
they could come in, yeah.
Might be kind of, yeah. So that's kind of because I just understand how successful that game was.
Yeah,
it kind of worked. People liked it. It was, and I think people are kind of liking Marin and like what they did. I think they already have the assets. I think they might go that way. Where else could they go? Unless they start. No. I think I would go Jedi Survivor. I think I would go Jedi Survivor for their March launch of the whatever, their that Starkiller area.
Good. It could definitely. Yeah, I don't know how many people watched Heinz stream yesterday, but we got some more Jedi Survivor. It is absolute. How awful he is at wall running, jumping, and stuff. He died so many times. We had a count. I think it was in the 80 range or something. Times he died. It was unbelievable. And because he only plays it when we do the stream every 3 weeks, so he doesn't touch it in between. So it's not like he gets better. And just it's I've never cried so much laughing just watching him over and over again, just get absolutely mollywopped. It is absolutely brilliant. So if you haven't watched that, please go watch INZ play Jedi Survivor, and me and Ram just absolutely losing our minds laughing because it is the most enjoyable thing I've ever seen. So yeah. Nathan H. question. I heard that Aldous had a great beach story. No. Not even reading the rest of this. Nathan H. No. I let him do it once. He has shared the story. If you want the story, you know what you can do? You can go back and watch the video where he actually shared the story. And if you'd like to, you can message Aldous at any time. Anytime you like. And then you can go to his streams on his great channel on Twitch, and you can listen to that story as much as you want. We're not doing it here again. I did it once. That's it. You get one time only. I know he spent 30 minutes trying to wall run for a box. Yeah, it was great. And I forgot about why we were doing that because it's been a hot minute since I looked at the game. I didn't play it, but I've watched the playthroughs and stuff like that. I pretty much, because I like to do that. I played Jedi Fallen Order through the entire game, but Survivor, I was like, that's a lot of time. So yeah, it's so fun.
Survivor's great. There's so many hidden stuff just off the track. There's so much in it as a Star Wars fan. There's so many little kind of throwbacks and stuff. It is a beautifully crafted game. So that would be my money. They'll either go to it this Christmas or next Christmas. That would be my money will definitely get a Survivor team coming. The other way we could go would be Andor team, but that's going to take a little bit of a stretch.
I think as good as Andor is, I mean, there are some characters, but I think those will be marquees that they'll throw in here and there for the Empire,
It's hard to see like this overpowered Cassian, but then an overpowered Cassian wouldn't be too bad. 3 or 4
Luthian
people
would be a great character we want. I would love to see, Stars in there.
200% dodge Leia, the child that you can't catch.
God.
That'd be great. A pirate faction. I don't know. There's. I don't see that box as well crafted as the Survivor box. So I'd say they would go to Survivor, but that's the other way, in my opinion, they could go.
The other route that they could go, because there are groups of characters that they could bring in. We've got the Celestials, what we've talked about in the past. We've got the entire Eternal Throne family that they could bring in as a legendary. Darth Bane and Zana with some other characters, that's a group that they could bring in. There's just so many characters in the mythos and legends and things that they could bring in. So anything's on the board. I mean, your Survivor thing, definitely on the board. The stuff I just mentioned, definitely on the board. I don't know.
We do also talk about the greatest film ever made, The Phantom Menace, where we talk about people like Captain Panaka.
Fake news.
We talk about a Panaka. We talk about maybe even a Jar Jar Binks. I know they say they never. We talk about actually going back. We're heading, I think, for 15-year anniversary or 20-year anniversary of that. We're hitting an anniversary of Phantom Menace. It is possible they go towards that, and that would be something to go to in a Padme content. Who knows?
Yeah, it's just a lot of different directions. We just don't know, and they can do whatever they want. Honestly, they really could. They could bring in the Vong. I would be shocked at this point because I never thought we would get Afra, or Starkiller. That was the thing when they said they were doing Starkiller. Because say what you want, they are geeks. They're Star Wars geeks over at CG, right? And then talking to CG Miller, the head dude over there, you get a sense of how geeky they are. They've played all these games. They are big, giant fans of Star Wars, and they want to see these characters come in just as much as we do. However, it has to work. It has to fit into what the game is. And yes, a lot of thought and process goes into what character you're going to design and bring in. How's the kit going to work? Who does it support? Those are really big things you've heard Karth talk about before. And yeah, so as much as we would love to see these characters, it has to make sense for the game. And it has to make sense for whatever they're doing for whatever faction they're doing. So there's a lot that goes into that thought process, just to get the thing started. So I
think now they've stopped the 4-year process of designing Huttslayer layers kit where they all stood around a computer just looking for 4 years. I think we might start to see more progress from them.
Yeah, the Phantom Menace, I could see them going back and do maybe a Naboo faction, like the Naboo Starfighter, Captain Tanaka. There's some characters that they could bring in from there still, that they could fill out some stuff like Galactic Republic, things of that nature. It wouldn't bother me at all, you know. He says, I consider Ewoks a great insult to intelligence. Gungans, not Jar Jar, seem like a worthy species for a game faction. Actually, I kind of like the Gungans as a faction. Just Jar Jar, just oh god.
Gungans and Boss Nass seem like the
That
next Geonosians. I mean,
could be,
like
yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed like Gungan warrior, Gungan druid, Gungan. I don't know. Like it just seems like quite a sort of a.
Well, you got Captain Tarsus, and you can have a Gungan warrior, Boss Nass. You'd have to bring in Jar Jar. I'd bite the bullet for that if it's what they did. But yeah, I mean, as much as the Gungans as a society, as species and stuff, I find them fascinating. Underwater species like that and stuff, the way their technology works, I thought it was pretty cool. Just watching Jar Jar run around like a complete buffoon just really took me out of the fight. It was like, because when they first started fighting, they had all the shields and they're throwing stuff that can disable droids. I was like, this is a cool fight. And then Jar Jar's like, I'm like, oh god, stop. Jar Jar using the boomba. Me as I don't have a boomba. Like, shut up, Jar Jar. God damn it. Oh.
He is a polarizing character,
And I
but
wanted to punch Boss Nass. Like, what do you mean you made him the general? What about Captain? What's his name, man? He seems a little bit more militaristic. Let's go with that guy.
he is polarizing. But I do think there's a lot in Phantom Menace for some reason they kind of ignored. I mean, like I say, we're getting this random idiot. And if the next raid after the scout, if they announce that being a like the speeder bike race, what's the race in the Phantom Menace where the child takes part? If that's announced next, then that could be where they go. But yeah, I think the Gungans for me would be
It would be, yeah, as a faction.
good thing to add. Good thing to add.
I wouldn't mind so much the Gungan faction, but there's a lot of factions and stars we can still bring in. As I've mentioned, just a few factions that have an astronomical amount of characters, So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. In the holiday season, we'll get a taste, and then we'll try to guess what it is. And then, as soon as I saw the droids were coming, I'm like, Dr. Aphra? Because I knew those evil droids as soon as I laid eyes on them. It was like, holy crap. There's no such thing as Darth Jar Jar. Get that shit up. I still think The Phantom Menace, as bad as I think the movie is, there are incredibly epic moments. I mean, Darth Maul's entrance and the whole Duel of the Fates, I can watch that over and over and over again. The music's incredible. The fight scene, the fight itself is incredible. That's one of those things where, as much as the other parts of the Phantom Menace, I'm like, that you cannot sit there and go, ah, every time it comes on, as soon as I hear, oh no, da da da, it's like, oh, it's going on. It's time to get it. It's time to get it on. Let's go. Oh god, here comes Helen.
I love Watto. I love Watto as well. Watto is one of my
makes
favorites.
no difference.
Yeah, your Jedi mind tricks are not much on me. I love that. I love that character. I think it'd be more fun than anyway.
Helly's jumping in as he does on Saturdays, working as always. Says happy Saturday, Ranger, Aldi, and all the skiers in chat. Hope everyone's weekend is off to a good start. Work has sucked so far with all the working I'm currently required to do. Yeah, they kind of want you to work at work. Strange concept, I know, but yeah. Well, if they're going to do the faction, we got to bite the bullet. Listen, if we get Padawan Obi-Wan, I'll do the trade for Jar Jar. But, if they bring it in, it's much as I'll be like, it is what it is. And then, much as we don't like Jar Jar, a lot of people that like Jar Jar, and that's okay. There's people that love the Ewoks. I can't stand the Murder Bears. Not something I'm into, Star Wars mythos and lore. I think I was scarred as a child having to watch. I got all excited for the movies that came on, on TV back in the day. It was like an ABC special, and then I'm like, yes, Star Wars. It's a year after Return of the Jedi. Oh, we're going back to Endor. This is going to be great. What am I watching? What is this? No. The Ewok cartoon came out. I was like, no.
I would remind people, probably we were the first, probably about an hour, probably a year and almost 2 years ago, we started talking about Endor being because of the Return of the Jedi 40-year anniversary. And it does seem, and that's why we're talking about it, was, on Jedi Academy, we started talking about the reason why we thought Endor might be coming. We thought an Endor TB might be coming simply because of the anniversary of that film. We are now heading into an anniversary of Phantom Menace, so let's not. It makes sense. It seems to be where they're going. They like a little bit of history. We'll see. We'll see.
The engineer choose this question. Almost ready for Jedi Cal, but in 5 weeks I'll get Malicos. What to go get first? Both need 500 Kairos. You would want to do Jedi Cal because you can move him in a lot of Jedi teams. You can use him under JML and he dominates. You can use him in a Jedi Revan team and he dominates. You put him on any Jedi team, he's going to do good work for you. He is amazing. Jedi Cal, he is damn incredible. So I would go Jedi Cal first, then do Malicos afterward. And yeah, I think that's actually what you need to do. Oh God, Helly's coming in. Question for Ranger. Here we go. Says, brah. How'd the money raising go last weekend? Did Archie kick names and take ass? Sandwich chewed bubblegum. Yeah, you have brain damage. We raised over $7,000, just over $7,000. So we're a third of our way to our goal. We did very, very well. Let's see here. Question for Aldi from Helly, and I knew it was coming. All right. I'm just about to take my Grand Inquisitor to Relic. I'll have Riva at Relic because, unlike me, my guild is awesome. How would you recommend modding these dark side parents? They're pretty straightforward. There's no ambiguity here on these. These two. How do you like to mod those two Inquisitors?
Well, you just stick them on defense and you never bother.
Well, that's how they get Treyed, yeah, unfortunately, but
yeah. So I was running fast Grand Inquisitor with a little bit of health, I think. I don't know. It's difficult because I switch it around for the Riva mission. So I'm not Riva survivability, I would have thought. She does tanky. Riva, you'll know more. I don't know.
Yeah, Riva is straight tank. You only need to take the Relic 8 because the Relic 9 is busted. Now, you do want some damage with her. So I went offense with Hell Set. Primary's protection. So you want her beefy. You want to get her above 300 speed with that set. So because of her bonuses, she's going to take turns. So yeah, good damage on her. You're not going to get extraordinary damage on her, but again, she gets those boosts, and then she starts just smoking fools. Grand Inquisitor's a little different. I have mine a little bit different, mainly because I've been getting Riva Charge for the guild, so I have got him mod a little bit differently. I went to speed and health set. Primary, good potency on him. You want his debuffs doing the debuff thing, so you want decent potency on him as best you can. He's got low potency, but if you can get him as best you can, the survivability, he's going to do damage. If you can get the damage up, that's fine, but it's all about those debuffs, right? He's going to get called and assist a lot. So you want him fast. You want him taking turns as much as possible because, especially against Jedi teams, like we almost took out JMK with that crazy cron we did the other day in GAC, and you saw how just ridiculous that team is. It's got a little bit of bad RNG on the turn on when Riva was taunting and Ahsoka was able to take out my GI. That was just bad RNG. There's nothing you can do about that. But typically she takes out, Riva, and then Riva's like, I'm back, and doesn't care. So just the way it works.
I'd say that Riva Inquisitors are a very odd team for me at the moment. Sorry to like, they used to be this incredible team that nothing will ever beat, but now they get absolutely wrecked by Traya. So it's this weird team now that if your opponent has Riva, you keep Traya and Savage for offense, and it's not a worry. So it's an incredible team, but it kind of has this kind of very hard counter. So I would have said that we talk about impact in meta, we talk about impact in GAC. It was something everybody wanted, and it was an amazing, and it is an amazing character, it's an amazing kit. But again, as far as impact is concerned, it's maybe not as impactful as what it could have been or should have been, maybe. So it's It's a weird one. It's a weird one.
Well, it has a hard counter on defense with Trey, although that can go tits up too, depending,
You
especially
can.
with the Datacrons. And so it's not a guarantee. In an offense, she rakes, man. She absolutely rakes. I mean, you can use her and do good work. You're going to kill some shit. You may lose against a GL, but like JMK, JML, she absolutely destroys that team. And then JMK was left, and I in Ahsoka, and I just got bad luck and started picking off my goddamn GLs at that point because of the stupid Datacron. They were regenerating too much. I just couldn't get the damage on them. Once GI was out of there, that made it. It's just bad luck. But yeah, that team is
I think
brutal, man.
Alpha's got it. If you are going to put it on defense, just try and beat out Treya with something like a Tuscan team.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably use Treya versus Tuscans, and then you will be able to beat them in the back zone. You get a stop there. It's one that you actually need to be careful where you put it. Know what your opponent tends to be doing. It's one of those teams that actually, if you do scout your opponent, you can bod. Be careful where you put it. Be careful where you put it. But it is a great, great character. But yeah, the modding actually, yes, it's important, but most people mod it well, and it pretty much destroys most Jedi teams instantly. It's a comedy thing. It's a very hard counter, obviously.
Like JML, Trey just absolutely destroys that team. JMK, it's incredible to watch because we didn't do it the one time I did it last weekend, but previously I'd used Riva to beat JMK multiple times. It's like bam, 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 and then they're toast, man. They are absolutely toast, especially with that last Datacron set. Now, not as much now. They won't have that big offensive push, but with this offense set, you're making up for that 100% offense with these new sets there, where you can really boost their offense and damage. Oh boy, they're really good. Nathan A's question. My wife has a tartan. What did he put? A tartan. Yeah, he's taught tartan and kilt, and it's Ferguson. Does Ollie have them, and could he show us?
I do not currently have a kilt. I am originally Irish, so my traditional kilt from Ireland is a greeny kind of generic thing. My
What's
kilt
the family?
O'Doherty.
O'Doherty.
So if you look up the O'Doherty Irish tartan, you'll see what it is. It's sort of grey and blue. However, my Scottish heritage would be Crawford.
Yeah.
And therefore that is a creamy tartan. Looks very much like the Burberry stuff. So I don't particularly like either of those. So there is a new tartan that was designed called Old Flower of Scotland, which is a very kind of, it's kind of somebody looked at tartan and went, okay, let's make a tartan people actually want to wear. So therefore I did originally have an Old Flower of Scotland tartan kilt, but yeah, I do not have one anymore because I travel so much, but only now I may start. I actually think of it getting, when I was walking around a shop yesterday looking at kilts, but that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, my family origins is Shannon, and it is a very brown and green and yellow, and it's just, oh boy. But it is where my ancestors are from, so very much Scottish.
I mean, yeah, I think the thing is that if you're around other people that know it, like, because I mean, originally it was to tell which clan you were in.
Yeah,
but but nobody will look at you go, oh, that's the O'Shanahan one, nobody, so it kind of has lost its point. I think I would stay away ever from the Rangers and the Celtic tartans, but I do like the modern O'Flower of Scotland one. I would always encourage people to, if they are looking to pick up a kilt, that's a good one to get. It's just, it's sort of generic kind of, looks good.
As long as you know your family origin, and I do, the Shannons, and I know the entire history of how we came here. My family's mainly Scott, a little bit of Irish, but Scottish is a big thing. My last name, you wouldn't know it, but that's because my grandfather adopted my father when he was a young lad, and he took on the last name that I have, which is actually German. But outside of that, Polish, but on one side, but mainly
your second name is German. Should we pronounce it 1999 differently?
It's actually no. It's my last name is Fleck, which actually
I know.
Yeah, and actually Fleckenstein is an actual family from Germany, and Fleck is actually an actual German word. It means spotted one. I'm like, really? You made me ginger and then gave me that last name, communist.
Yeah, it's not best. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's the Tartan story. I don't know where. It's
Yeah, I
good to
mean,
find.
I learned.
Have
I've actually
questions.
met some. I've been to Scotland, and you know, they were very welcoming. You know, as soon as they figured out that who my clan was and stuff, they were like, "Oh, let's go drink." I'm like, "Okay, that sounds like a plan. Shit, I don't mind." You know. So,
I doubt that was anything to do with the name. That was just simply let's go drink.
well, I was. They're very welcoming there. I mean, Scottish people, for I would say for Americans, they really love Americans over there. British is different. That's changing though.
English.
English. You know,
No, we
so
do like no, but honestly, if you ever come to Scotland, Scotland is a beautiful place, beautiful people, good
insanely
culture.
green, and it's always wet and windy.
Yeah, yep, that is true. And there's always a pub, and always a little pub, a local pub, a pub that's super cheap with super interesting people in it
Oh
with
yeah,
incredible stories.
that's where you want to go. Is you want to go to the local pub in any town, city, village. So yeah, I want to go back there. I didn't get to spend enough time there. I was only there for a couple days, so yeah, I wish I had a chance to spend more time. Okay, Jedi rules. I know 3 more days to your birthday. 3 more days. He's going to be 79,000 years old. It's amazing how good he uses the lotion. He really is.
Down in San Diego.
Yeah, down in San Diego. He's going to be going to the Padres
Wow.
game on that day too, man. He's going to have a good
Oh,
day
I
right
love the
there, boy.
Padres.
Let's see here. Question: what is your favorite Star Wars rework? I enjoy the Darth Vader one. That was pretty good. Rework.
Wampa. Wampa moving to being a solo. They should have given him the neutral tag.
I love Wampa.
But Wampa is my baby. I love him. He's behind me. I've now got a Wampa. There's a Wampa here. Hang on, wait.
We don't see it.
There's a Wampa
Oh,
here.
I see a Stormtrooper helmet. I see a tie.
They're here. No,
I see a pumpkin.
The side
Oh,
of the
there it
tie,
is. It's hidden.
There's a Wampa.
Oh, Wampa.
I love Wampa. Wampa, my absolute favorite. I think sometimes you do reworks sake, but honestly, doing Wampa used to sit on teams that was rubbish, but having him a solo character, best thing they've done, love it. Love Wampa.
Yeah, that is a fun one. I have to go back and look at all the reworks. I haven't really thought about it, so I don't really have a particular one that I'm like, oh my god.
Darth Vader was good, but then they nerfed it, which kind of hurt me. I loved it when you could one-shot a Rey. There's been some good reworks. General Grievous was I can't remember what it was, rework 1 or rework 2 of Grievous, but the one he is now, I really like that. I like what they did with that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I liked.
Ron Hub says we just find any excuse to drink Ranger. That's right. We drink. Then we fight until we're dead.
And honestly, here's a Scottish tip for you. If you find an American person wandering around the street, meet them, chat to them for 2 seconds, pretend you care where they're from, and then take them to a pub because there's a large chance they will buy drinks. So it's a good way to get money for drinks. I think that's
it's really
pretty
cool.
much
and tell me if this has changed, but like a lot of the outside, if you go to the main cities there in Scotland, right, or the towns, but mainly was in the main city, all the pubs and restaurant stuff, seating outside, it didn't matter what the temperature was out there. People were out there with a nice pint, men and women, with a nice pint.
They force us due to smoking. So the people
that's right. There is a ton of smoking. That's right. That's
also
right.
Because of COVID. I mean, Glasgow had this massive expansion of outdoor drinking areas, right? So literally, you will not find a pub in Glasgow now that doesn't have a bit outside of it where you can drink. Even though it's like -15, there's still a place outside with, I think, but yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful place. Everyone, welcome to Glasgow. It is a beautiful place. Scotland is a beautiful place.
What else? The Swedish seem to really like Americans too. Bark, bark, bark. On the burning, heard the Swedish chieftain, and then the American, and the Scottish judging, and the audit, all then they begin to hating of the Scottish judging, but the love and the ranging the American, and the British bird, and the chicken. All right, there you go. I did a little Swedish chef for you. I knew
that was fluent Swedish.
I know.
Wow.
I know. I man of many
Very
talents.
well done. Very well done.
Haley says these customers with her, I would like some service nonsense. What the literal beep. You have done this yourself. Your love of work has allowed these bosses of yours to twist your mind until you're doing the very thing you swore never to do.
Nathan H says he's English, but prefers Scotland Ireland. But can I give a huge shout out to the Matildas and the Lionesses, who both won in the Women's World Cup today and are now going to face each other in the semi-final. Congratulations, Matildas, our Australian team, and the English women football team in the World Cup.
I'm a Texican and I have a great time with Australians. Well, we're both backwoods knuckleheads, so that makes a lot of sense. Texas and Australia separated by nothing. Large ocean. Nathan H. Question: what does Darth Kermit think of the Lobot rework? It's treason then. Hi ho, Kermit the Frog here from Sesame Street News, and today we're going to be talking about the Lobot rework. Can you say Lobot, kids? Yeah, I think he's pretty cool. And, well, we'll see. I mean, killer droids. Wait, what's that over there? Lobot. Oh, hi, Ledger's Lobot. I don't really like all those, wait, where are all those droids with red eyes? Wait a minute. Ah! There you go. Little Kermit action there. Helen says he's a descendant of Hercules. Well, all Greeks are. Perseus. I mean, you can go down the list. God damn. Somehow they were all part of the 300 Spartans that fought at Thermopylae and Marathon and against the Persian invasion and all that stuff. But yeah.
And other films.
Yeah. Well, in just history. Butler. Yeah, they're all descended from Alexander the Great. Yes.
And Gerard Butler led everyone who was from Glasgow. And I know Gerard Butler is a big drink. No story.
Oh, I haven't seen any person that's Scottish that's an actor that isn't, man. They all like to have a good time, and that's what makes them so cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Tomla says, I'm Norwegian. That's exactly how the Swedish speak. We
should say congratulations to also Sweden or the Lesser Norway, as they also reached the semi-final with the Spanish. So Spain, Sweden, Australia, England is the semi-final in the Women's World Cup.
Yeah, the American team did not do very well, and they are getting shit on left and right for it. So, I mean, we're spoiled. I mean, the America's team, I mean, they are allowed to have a bad World Cup here and there because they're so dominant for so long. I mean, give the girls in the U.S. a little bit of a break. Jesus Christ. You didn't win the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. I'm glad you lost. Like, God damn. Can't win every time. It's you gotta take the losses.
We do send love, but
ask England's men's team. They're expected to win that damn thing every time. Like, man, y'all got some lofty goals. You haven't won that thing since the goddamn 60s. You might want to curtail your expectations just a little bit, till you actually win. So, and that's it.
I think if you miss a penalty, though. It's head and hands, look upset, not laugh.
Oh, boy.
I mean, oh God. Yeah. But yes, Lesser Norway is Sweden. Mm-hmm. Lesser Norway is Sweden in my vernacular. That is why we refer to it.
I don't think they think that, yeah.
Well, no, we will. When Norway finally takes over Sweden, it will be fine.
Well, the women from Sweden.
Oh, okay. Gorgeous. Well, that's another story you don't ever let me tell.
No, because I have my own story, and I'm not telling that story here either. Because we would get canceled. We would get canceled. Yeah.
Yeah. When are we moving to Kick? We should have one episode of Jedi Academy over on Kick, where we tell a load of X-rated stories for like 2 hours, and then we come back to okay. Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of work for me. So, oh boy. All right, I'll go for a few more minutes here. Just hanging out with me and all this on Jedi Academy. Get your questions in. If you have any questions, pose those into the chat. We'll do a final call for questions, and we'll get out of here a little bit earlier today because, God forbid, we don't get our conquest.
A lot of investigations. Sorry. So CG seemed to have turned super sleuth this week, and are investigating the Sisters versus Jabba. And are investigating Leviathan.
I don't know what the investigation is. It's the Datacron, for Christ's sakes. There's no investigating needed. I could have told you that in 1 second. There's the Datacron. They get incredible, crazy stacks of plague over and over again, on that thing, and it makes it ridiculous. So,
okay, well, I had somebody this morning in my chat that might be cubed, legend of the community. I may have provided the answer that now it is possible with a G7 initiate, and it is the paper initiate strategy that might be the investigation, and therefore I support them on that investigation, and I support so anyone that's worried about the investigation, my investigation into the investigation has resulted in me thinking it might be a paper initiate investigation, and therefore it's not about mirroring kit changes, anyone else kit changes. I think it is about a paper initiate. And yeah, I salute BQ for giving me that information, and I support them in fixing that. So I would hope and expect that initiate picks up a zombie like must be R1 to revive or something. Like pick up something in the kit that just forces you to have it higher.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. All right, get your final questions in. We're doing the final call here, so Goody Helly has a question. Doesn't seem to be that busy at work. Says, how is everyone's conquest going? I fell asleep 3 nights in a row instead of playing. Too tired this week. Do you feel there's too much to do in SWGOH lately? Yes, and we talked about it. And the new raid changes are going to be addressing some of that time sink that we've been getting with the raid. But conquest, man, it is what it is. You make the investment, you got to invest the time and stuff. I don't know what there's a lot of stuff they can do there's a lot of good solutions out there for what they can do to, change conquest a little bit. But if they're going to have featured characters in there, they're going to do this stuff to where we have to earn it. It is what it is. I log in every day. I'm mainly doing the main feats. I'm already starting to knock out some of them already. I go slower through the sectors because I try to knock out these feats first, the main feats. Some people like to blast through the sectors and then go back and do it. I'm the opposite. I just want to, I like to go through, get the main feats done because I'm able to, and then I just like pick apart, like I'll finish all sector 5 and I'm like, how many more do I need? Okay, I can just do this one, and then I'm done, and then just farm the Datacron shit. But yeah, it's a slog, man. There's no easy way of doing it. With these feats, with the amount of teams that you have to get those many wins with, it's a slog. It really is. The 20s are not so bad, but these 40s, I mean, they will grind on you, man, because you have to think about them every day when you do Conquest. You got to get those 4 battles in with the Sith Empire. Luckily, there's some feats along the way in the sectors that you can use them and knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Not so much for the Republic, the clones. Yeah, after Sector 3, I don't care if your tunes are Relic 7, the way these teams are tuned in these sectors that you're facing. Just go to Sector 1, just use them, kill Bad Batch, get Datacrons, get some cash. It's the easiest one to do, but yeah, it's just one of those things. It's going to be, it's called Grind Quest for a reason. You're going to have to grind. There's just so many of these repetitive battles. Well, and it's not just those zones, but you have like win 14 battles, with just Galactic Republic. You have to take that into consideration. I'm going to have to do certain battles on certain days of Galactic Republic, whether it's gas or whether it's your JMK team and stuff. So yeah, I that's the part that just, when you're repetitively doing the same shit over and over again, it's just sitting there like, if I have to do one more battle with Sith Empire, I'm going to lose goddamn mind. But you got to do it, and with 40 battles, because of stamina, unless you're spending, that's 10 days of 4 battles of Sith Empire. That's what makes Conquest. Yeah. The fights themselves, there's some cool boss fights and some fights in there. It is what it is. There's some interesting fights in there, and it's a nice little puzzle, right, to figure out what you need to do and stuff like that. But outside of that, all this, such a grind. I just look in every day like, okay, what time do I want to do grind?
I like Conquest. I honestly like Conquest.
Well, you like pain, so that makes sense.
But you talked to my girlfriend. I
don't know who your girlfriend is. I should ask her. Is it one of your hot Chinese girlfriends right now? I don't know who that is.
I would say this one of all the conquests is quite trappy. And therefore I warn everybody on this one. This one for me is the one that has the most need to do random different battles. And I'm going to try and
So
explain.
many different teams.
You've got 5 different kill feats. You go droids, rebel fighters, Genosians, Imperial troopers, and
Galactic
then Phoenix.
Republics. You got Galactic Republic too.
Okay. Well, no, but those are the full teams. So the thing is, okay, so you've got to kill people with Phoenix, you've got to kill people with Imperial troopers, but at the same time, you must use a full team of a different faction. So you've got kind of 20 battles or 12 battles of Galactic Republic, but then you've got to kill people at the same time with Genosians. So it kind of, this one in particular, I think needs a lot of planning. I am not burning through I'm the same as Rangers, man. I think he's right. I do not burn through the feats on this one. Do not burn through the sectors and come back. I am also getting a huge amount of shade on my channel because I'm not putting on the thermal detonator build. I have not done a thermal detonator build because I actually want to get the kill feats. So as I'm going through the sectors, I'm struggling at some of the sector battles, honestly, like I'm losing some of them, but I don't want people dying to thermals because I want to kill them with my whatever character because I'm trying to do a feat there as well.
Yeah, 100 kill the Jedi Cal. You don't want them going boom, boom, boom.
Nope, either to dots or to thermals. So it's not about, I would warn people about running a thermal or a dot build for too long. By all means, shoot through it really fast and get to the end of Sector 5 if you want. But if you're not there about 2 or 3 days ago, you probably want to take your build off now because you need those kill feats. And that's kind of, so it's this one is a strategic one, super complicated. I missed out the red crate in the first one because I got the pacing wrong. I'm trying it this time. I've also not got Voluntary Vanguard. So again, I'm kind of, I'm in a different space.
Yeah, for me, the way I approach it is most of it is win with your squad or get kills. There's only a few killed like Jedi Cal. So what I'll do is I'll do all the big feat teams, just win with that team. So I'll go full thermals and everything, caustic emissions, but then I'll flip it. Once that's done, then I flip because you have to use energy unless you have the big conquest pass. Then I flip it. Then it's like, okay, I don't need to do this anymore with that build because I can just either sim, but with the kills, I'm going to go in there with Jedi Cal and I don't want them dying to a team unless it's Jedi Cal. So I'll flip it to where it'll be tons of offense, protection, I'll do voluntary vanguard. So like the GL gets, the nookie, so I'll flip it, but yeah, I'll do it along the way.
You flip it quickly. I think this one, other than other ones, you've got to flip it quickly. Do not sit on the thermal build for more than 3 or 4 days. Otherwise, you can find yourself behind the 8 ball on kills. That's my advice to people. I think this one feels different to me. This one's been different, but we'll see how we get on. But I'm not going to know until the last 2 or 3 days whether I'll get red crate or not because I'm pacing my way through each of them. So every single event is going to come together in the last 2 or 3 days. So we'll see.
Yeah, Inquisitors are really big in this one. Sector 4, Sector 3 has Inquisitor feats with the Purge, and I think Sector 1 maybe. I don't remember, but like Sector 4, you have to win with a full squad of Inquisitorius. Sector 3, I think, is the Purge one, if I'm not mistaken. So there's stuff like that you have to have certain teams for, like the we have Return feat is basically Darth Malgus. You have to have Darth Malgus to get that one because he's the one that gives the buff to the Sith Empire when you take a turn. So you just have to do battles and win, to get that feat, I think. So yeah, it's a lot of different teams with a lot of these different feats. So but
I would honestly say, okay, sorry, I'm going to advertise your channel. Honestly, pop into people like the Rangers Man's channel during the week on Twitch and ask the question, but kind of send a screenshot about where you are and what feats you've done and what feats you've not done. I would say that actually for a week or for these next 3 or 4 days, I would focus on giving people advice on Conquest and, okay, do that feat now or try that feat because I think now's the time it really matters, not in the last 2 or 3 days. You can't rush this one Yeah, so I think people like Ranger who knows the different feats and the balance. I think maxing out your thing is super important on this one, but it is super complicated. This one more complicated than other conquests, in my opinion.
Yeah, so like right now I'm wanting Volatile Accelerator, 2 Cossack missions, Perseverance, because I really like that attack out of turn. Really makes getting, the teams kill Thermal Exhaust, and then Amplified Agony. Now I will move this once I get through Sector 5, and I've got most of the, win with this team, that kind of stuff, all those feats done. Usually next week around Tuesday, I flip it. Because now I'm like, okay, now I got to finish Jedi Cal. I don't want thermals going off. I don't want all this damage, killing characters. I just want to go into the Datacron node for the material and just like auto Cal kill, and just do it that way over and over again. So
I'm close. I'm doing the Phoenix one with Captain Rex. I'm doing one battle every 5 hours. As mind numbing as that, and I'm almost finished.
I should have that done this weekend. I think today or tomorrow. I haven't looked.
I've got two days.
I have 6 more battles. Yeah, same here. So that'll be done. That's 15 knocked out. Bam. Then it's just I'm at 20 on the other one. So it's like, well,
so that'll finish.
5 more days. I'll be done with those for another 15. It's like, geez.
So I think I'll finish Wookiees and Captain Rex in a couple of days' time. I might switch my Datacron then to a death build of thermals to complete the zones, get the 3 stars. And then I think I might double back with a tank build if I don't get Voluntary Vanguard, and I might load it up with
I think the building block one, the when they attack at a turn, they stack offense or they get protection and health. Those are the ones you kind of want to run. So you're causing them to just use basics, but you're surviving, and then you do all your shit and you start new.
Well, I think without Voluntary Vanguard, I think my Bosk and my GBA that I run on a trail lead to get the kills, when you kind of have them attack, I think that needs more tankiness, especially for the later things. So I think I might need a sort of a protection up cron or something like that. Protection up cron, added health, added protection, added, that sort of thing.
So disc, yeah, we mean disc. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I might pick those up and I might kind of switch to that for added kills. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll be done with Sector 4 today into Sector 5. And then for the next couple days, I'll just religiously do all the stuff in Sector 5, and then
I think I hit Sector 5 this morning. I've done a bits of it.
I haven't done mine yet. Yeah, I haven't done mine for today.
But I'm only just the star. But yeah,
I'm at the end here till Saw Gerrera, so. But yeah, we knock out feats as we go along, best we can.
Yeah,
it's really a drag.
I think that is the right strategy on this one. Is do not rush to the end. Do not keep the thermal build on longer than it should be on. Focus on the kill feats you need. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore them to the end, otherwise you will struggle to do. Anyway.
Yep. All right. Kelly, the last thing we'll say before we get out of here says, if one has basically just finished sectors 1 and 2, does their player seem to be on a good pace? No, Helly, because you just said previously that you haven't done conquest in the last 3 days. You're being lazy. Do your damn conquest. I don't hear you complain if you don't do your conquest. I do it. Ollie does it. Your father, sister's uncle does it. Get it done.
Well, it technically depends which pace.
Depends on where you're at.
Which pace we're in. It's not a bad pace actually, Haley. The thing is, also you're going to so the more effort you put into conquest, the less effort you need to put into that terrible thing that is the catch-up mechanic nonsense that we all hate. So
proving grounds. Yeah.
Think about that. Think about putting the effort into this. Think about the feats you can and cannot hit. Look at them ahead of time. Go on to the websites, the forums, and look at 4, 5, 3. Maybe there's an easy one. Sector 1, you just put in Clone Wars Chewie as a lead, and you suddenly get that entire feat. Look for ones that you're very good at and how that might help you. Look to see if you can get another crate. Exactly, yeah. You don't, yeah. So there's ones you can kind of do that are pretty easy, Haley. But remember that the more effort you put in now, the less effort you need to put in improving grounds. Yeah, that's my only advice.
All right. With that, we're going to wrap it up. So Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, watch the video all the way through once we're done. All this sunfly, the best sunfly, be down on the beach with the stars and whamming. Where can folks be checking you out at?
Well, check me out here every week, or welcome to Sunflies on
Besides
Twitch.
here, there you go.
Welcome to
That's what
Sunflies on Twitch. But no,
yeah.
it is a true honor to come here. Thank you so much for having me. And I appreciate the regulars we have, the people that turn up, people that ask questions, and yeah, some good spicy questions. Keep them coming.
Yeah. And so, yeah, just go check out all this stuff. As I said, for any content creator that comes on there, make sure you check their stuff, support them and their endeavor, especially on a Saturday morning when they come here to do anything else. But they're here answering your questions. So with that, we're going to get out of here. I really got to use the bathroom. I drink too much coffee. So everyone have a great rest of your day. We'll appreciate, we'll be back tonight on Archie Variety. I will be doing some Dungeons and Dragons. So you can check me out there doing that. We're going to try to get a lore video in. People's schedules are really crazy right now. If I can get it in, I'll get it in. If not, then
just to Drogon lore.
Yeah, that'll be a quick one. Yeah, 2-minute video, sure. So yeah. So everyone have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekends. We'll see you when we see you, and if not, well, whenever we see you, that's the best thing. So may the force be with you, and we'll halt you later.